Hey, good morning or good afternoon, grappling fans. Welcome back to another episode of Who's Number One. We have another stripped down show today. We only have three call-ins. We have myself, Michael Sears here, and then we have world champ Bia Mesquita joining us today. Bia, thanks for calling in. Sorry for a little bit of that hassle there. We've had to change our systems because the internet's going crazy. Servers are down everywhere. Bia, how you doing out there in California right now?
Hey guys, great to talk with you guys. I'm doing great. I'm staying safe, but he feel a little bit weird not training and not like doing my regular schedule for BJJ. Just like everything is going a little bit crazy right now if you stop just thinking about it. But everything's great for here.
Yeah, your story sounds similar to basically everyone on the show. Everyone's a little confused. They don't know what to do with themselves. How are you staying busy at home right now?
Um, Actually, I just moved with Gavin Paulinho. And so, like, right now, like, we fixing the new house, but like, it's almost done already because we spent like the whole weekend doing that. So, like, I don't know, like, when this is done, I don't know what to do. Like, we thinking about to put the mats on the living room. So, like, this weekend, like, drill or do something, be active, and stay home at the same time. But, like, besides that, like, I don't know, like, we have not, like, I was thinking like, oh man, like what are you gonna do like without jiu-jitsu? Like now that I cannot train you or teach because we cannot go to the gym or anything. And then I was like, I have nothing, like nothing besides jiu-jitsu, like that's what I do all day. How I talk about, like how I live like every day. Like I go to the gym, I work out, I train, I drill, like everything's like connected to jiu-jitsu, And then right now that I cannot train, I just like feel so weird. So we decided like to maybe not like putting anything in the living room right now, and then just have mats so we can like drill or do anything like to keep active.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. The last time we saw you, you were still kind of recovering from an injury from ADCC. Is that all healed up? Are you ready to train? Is it time now for that? If we had a gym available?
Yeah. I've been training already. Like I started training again. I did a lot of physiotherapy. Now I'm fully recovered. I don't feel anything, so I'm training normal. I still like doing like strength to keep the elbow like safe. I had like a huge damage on the ligaments. But right now the doctor said that like I already can like train again, compete, do everything normal. So I just like you need like to keep the elbow like working, like the strength and the power, like to keep safe and not like he hurt it again. So right now, like I just really wanna train and compete again, but like everything's like just like about time.
What were you planning on doing this year before everything got canceled? Were you planning on doing pins or worlds or what was your plan going to be? What were you
I
thinking?
was I wasn't doing Panems because I was in Brazil waiting for my green card like interview, and but it got canceled because the coronavirus, and also I was like back, so I wasn't doing the pens because I was waiting on that. So like yeah, I was like kind of like didn't know if I was going to be here in Brazil, and but like I was like sure that I was going to do World Pro and Worlds. Last year, I said like I wasn't going to compete a lot in the gi this year, like not doing like the big tournaments because I want to do the MMA debut. But as everybody was saying, like you gotta like do the number 10 at Worlds, like you need to do that, blah blah blah, and like like my feelings are ready to compete all the tournaments in jiu-jitsu, So I was just like people say talking, my heart talking, so I decided to compete and also because I was the last year at World Pro Champion, so I was thinking about to defend my title and then try to do the number 10 at Worlds. So that was my plan. And then like in maybe like August or September do my debut for MMA. But now I don't know.
So you were thinking about getting your 10th title and then going to MMA. Would that 10th title you think be your last time competing jiu-jitsu or would you be coming back next year, you think?
No, no, I want to keep competing jiu-jitsu. Not as much the gi, Like I think that's so hard to be competing like in the gi and like MMA, like in high level, Like that's like two different sports for me. Like I know like one complements the other one, but stay on both like high level is just too hard. I was going, especially in the beginning, you know, like I was just like thinking about to be concentrate for MMA, but I was thinking about to compete like world's no gi and things like that. Like that's like more connected to the MMA, but I don't think like I gonna still compete in like world's gi or Abu Dhabi Pro because that's like a really high level and I have to be like training hard for that. And as like in my beginning in the MMA, I didn't think about to do both.
Bia, do you know where you'll be competing in? What promotion for MMA? Have you decided yet, or are you still talking to some people, or has that all changed now because of the current situation?
I'm talking with some tournaments, like some shows, but I haven't decided yet. Me and Morang, we wanna do like compete together, fight together, you know, and he wanna do like he's coming back and or maybe like one more, like he said, no, just one more. And I was doing my debut, so we was thinking about to do it together, so that's why like we're still thinking about what event's gonna be better because he's already like he MMA pro and I was thinking about to do just pre-fight, you know. I didn't want to jump in like a big one like right first, but I know it's gonna be really hard with my jiu-jitsu background. Like it's gonna be hard to have somebody that never fought like me, but just because of jiu-jitsu, you know, it's gonna be kind of hard. And but I don't know yet. I'm still talking with some events to see and check like what's gonna be better for the first one, you know. I like it. At the same time I wanna do a nice show. I wanna do something that I'm gonna feel comfortable and to compete to, you know. I think like the feeling is gonna be really different. Stepping the cage, locking the door. That's how I'm thinking about like how the feeling's gonna be on that time. But I'm really excited about that. Like he's just about to talk, like my heart's already like get like and like yeah, the butterflies on my belly is already like getting on. So I just want to do that like really bad right now.
Is that something you're looking forward to as it being a new challenge? Because I mean, you've been pretty untouchable in your weight class and the gi for a while, but I mean, MMA would be a whole new world. You'd have a whole bunch of new challenges. Do you really look forward to that?
Yeah, that's how I'm looking for, you know. I love jiu-jitsu. That's like my life, you know. Competing and be doing like the calendar the whole year, you know, like my life is like all looking for that, you know, like all my life I looking for the BJJ calendars, like competing all the tournaments, like everything was like over and over every year with the calendar tournaments. But I think like going to MMA is gonna be a new step, like new challenge. Just like doing something different to myself, you know, like challenge myself. And also, I think that MMA, like, I gonna be able to achieve more people and more people gonna see about jiu-jitsu, you know, like just like being inspiration for more people, not just like for the jiu-jitsu world or things like that, you know. So I think that's like something that I really want to do too, because I've been getting a lot of messages, you know. I think especially now that people doesn't have a lot to do, so they've been watching fight sets like at YouTube and FloGrappling. So they always message you or they do like Instagram history saying, I'm watching this fight, and they tag me. So and they talk like how much they like to watch me fighting and like my jiu-jitsu. So I just want to like achieve more people and show them like how great jiu-jitsu is, and I think going to MMA, that's going to be a huge thing.
Do you like striking?
I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm doing a lot of Muay Thai. I enjoy it a lot, but I haven't done like a lot of like sparring yet. So I haven't get like any knockdown or things like that. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna react about that. But like yeah, but I'm doing like a little bit like sparring on Muay Thai, like just like very light with the guys, and like one of the girls that's there like longer at the gym training. But they don't really punch me in the face because they know when they go to jiu-jitsu class they're gonna kill them.
Bia, have you ever been brought into like an MMA camp for another fighter to work on their grappling or their wrestling?
Yeah, we helped already some girls from UFC, Angela, and like Alexia was here training for like before the fight with Claudinha, and like a few girls like we have like helped already for their fights, and but it's like really different. Like they didn't really punch us. Like we just like pretend we are punching each other just to get out like from hard situations at jiu-jitsu. But it was fun. It was really fun. I was thinking maybe as like I have trained already with the girls from Alliance MMA, to go there, enjoy the training with them. They're really nice girls, and it's really close from Larry's gym for jiu-jitsu. So I was thinking to go there. Like there are a lot of like good athletes training there. So I think that it would be good, especially because they have a lot of girls that have a good experience already in the MMA and big tournaments too. So I think that's gonna be good. Like training with them again, it's gonna be something like they're gonna help me a lot. Also, like Chris Cyborg invited me. I have to do a camp with her, and she invited me to train with her. So man, that's like the dream of like. And I think an MMA girl, I like dream about like to train with her. She's just like a beast, and being like for so long in the sport, she opens so many doors for the women in the sport. So I think having her like also like he opened the doors for me is something that it gonna man, help me a lot in the beginning, especially to to cut the ways, you know. I think that's like something like important right now.
You just mentioned Chris Cyborg, but do you have any other favorite fighters that you've been watching for a long time? Anyone that inspires you that you wanna fight like one day?
um I don't know, like so many girls. Like right now, like I just watched like the last girls fight with the girl, the Gisara's friend. I forgot
Joanna.
her. Joanna.
Hmm.
Oh my god, what was that fight, man? Like I was like so surprised. It was the best fight I have ever seen. I was like in the couch, like fighting with them, you know, like kind of like moving because it was so excited to fight, you know, like so. I've been trying to watch more the MMA fights and like to get more inspirations, you know, but it's just like so hard like when they start like to get punched and their face like start to change, and then like I'd be like, oh my god, this is like really what I want. And then I when I see like everybody getting so excited with the fights and talking about that, I said, yeah, no matter what, I wanted to do that, you know. So like I think the girls like are getting like very excited match. Like just like I think about jiu-jitsu, you know, sometimes people doesn't watch a lot about the girls, but sometimes they fight. Some guys talk, oh man, I think the girls fight for something personal, you know, because they go so hard. And sometimes I think that's true. Like the girls like take it more particular, you know, and they go so hard for the fights. And that's I feel the same in the MMA. Girls doesn't talk as much as the guy, but the show that they go there to put on, it's like a lot more excited sometimes. And so like that's something like that's really inspiring me, how the girls like put in the hard work, especially because they don't have as much space as the guys, you know. It's a lot less girls, so we have to work harder to show our work and how good we are. So that's something that really inspired me at jiu-jitsu, and I think that's something that inspired me at MMA to see the girls like fighting hard and going like to give a good show and show like that like we deserve to be there as much as the guys.
Who are some girls in jiu-jitsu that you're a fan of? Is there any girls, maybe younger girls, or just some of your girls from your generation that you're like, oh, I really like watching them compete. They're a good competitor.
I think like for the generation before me, I really enjoy like to watch it, of course, Letty, but like Hanat, I think that she was like amazing fighter. Leka too. Like I didn't see Leka competing a lot, but I do remember like very back in the days, like when I really beginning. I had like a girl at my gym, that my first gym where I started jiu-jitsu. She was crazy fan about Leka, and she was one of the first girls that I hear about in jiu-jitsu. So and then Letty and Hanette was like one that I really watched competing because I was competing at the same time. And like from the new generation, I think that like there are a lot of like new girls from my generation. I think maybe like Cesare was like a great competitor. We're good friends, and like I think like she fight forward, she fight for the submission, and that's what I like. Pretty much, I like. I watch a lot. I like that. And I think like right now, I really look up to Gabby. Like we train together, and I see her potential. She's been world champion now belt, so like I think that's something that
Gabby McComb.
not a yeah. Yeah, Gabby McComb.
Yeah.
And I think Gabby Pesang is a girl that is like, man, coming like
Yeah.
really up, like she's a beast. So those girls, I think they're gonna be the future of the sport, like maybe like for the next year, next like world's tournaments. So they are some girls that I'm sure they're gonna be in the top for a while.
Yeah, you mentioned when you talked about Jazari going for submissions. I mean, that's something that's really part of your style too. You're always going for the submissions. Like you don't win by points very often. How important is it to you to get the submission in a victory?
Um, I mean, like, yeah, of course, I never like, I don't look like to lose like good situations, in the fight, good opportunities, like as like he getting like securing the points or things like that. But if I see the submission, I just get blind and like I go for it straight. But I had lost like some fights like doing that too, but most of them I win. So it's just like my style. I really like. I think that's like the goal in jiu-jitsu is go for the submission. And most of like the fights like is rare. I don't get like the submission when I go for it. So and I think it's a lot more excited. Like I don't care about points. I have lost also like fights because I go for the submission and like or I don't get the points, or or I got disqualified too. Like it happened recently. But I'm just looking for the submission. I think that's the goal. Like he was always like that. I always train like that. I train to get the submission. I. It's not that I don't care about the points, but it's not like as important as getting the submission. So if I have the opportunity, I'm gonna go always. I think like kind of the points it start to be the consequence, of fighting for the submissions and not like my main goal. But I have like I have my game plans, attacking the back, like close guard. So those situations already like give me like the submission. So I think that's like something that helps a lot to like to be there.
What is your mindset like on competition day? Because it's like people see how you are right now, very nice, very normal girl, but on competition day you look very fierce. You look very serious, very focused. What is going through your mind, and like what do you do to get ready on the day of a tournament?
I think in my mindset, like it helps to change my mood. Kind of like everything that passed through my mind. It's not like it's like something very natural. Like before, like I see all the videos and pictures, I didn't know I was that like I was looking that scary. A lot of people say, man, I would never want to fight her, she looks like so scared, I would step out. But like I think that like my mindset, like all about that, I think like everything that I went through, all the hard work I have put on to be there, like every like single train, every like hard time that I had, like everything that I had to be away, like that I like to do, that I had to not do, like to be there training every day, and like especially like being away from home, like not close to my family, and like everything passed through my mind, like everything that I did to be there in that day, it come to my mind, and like I just think how much I deserve the victory, and how much I deserve to be there, to fight hard, to give my best, and to fight for the victory. So I think that's what come to my mind, and that's why I get like so focused and in going there and doing my best and just like put on my game and not like letting anybody like take that away from me.
Bia, you're clearly a natural competitor. You really have a desire to win. How long have you been doing that? Have you been playing sports your whole life? How important is it to you to be competitive?
Yeah, like I think that's like something like that's like I started jiu-jitsu with 5 years old, and then I started competing with 7. But like besides, I always trained and competed jiu-jitsu. When I was younger, I competed a lot, like sometimes twice in the weekend, like Saturday and Sunday. My parents used to bring me to all tournaments and like everything, like I was there competing. But it's something that I really like it too, not that they forced me. I really enjoyed to be in the tournament, to be competing, and Everything after this, like when I was growing, I did like judo. I competed judo. I did swimming. I competed swimming. I did wrestling. I competed at wrestling. So everything I start to do, like I kind of that I look for the competition. It's something very natural on me. Even like CrossFit, like I was doing to help my workout, and then I competed at CrossFit too, with my some friends in Brazil. So I think that's inside of me already. Like it's been like a lot of years, like I'm 28 right now. So it's over 20 years competing. And so I think it's maybe on my DNA already.
How did you get started? You said you started at 5. Did your parents just want to put you in a martial art, or what made them bring you in there at 5 years old?
My mom, my mom bring like to be honest, like it wasn't like proposal in jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu was the gym that it was opening close to our house. We used to live in a condo in Rio, and like all the moms around like in the condo was bringing their kids like to the jiu-jitsu new gym that just opened close by. And my mom, like at first she want to bring my brother. Man, the boys in the condo had too much energy, so they had to spend it somewhere. And so all the moms said, "Yeah, let's bring them to fight to jiu-jitsu." And then, like when I get there, like I fell in love, and I asked my mom to do it too, and so she let me do, and then like I was the one that loved it. I like in the like for the people that started with me. And my brother stopped 1 year later. He doesn't like sports at all, and but like the people that it started like on that time, I think you maybe have like 5 black belts. And so like it is really like funny, like how did it came to my life, and like I became like all these in the sport, just like starting like a small gym like close to my house, and something like not even like that was planned.
At what point did you realize you were going to make a career out of it? Like, obviously you started competing early, but like when you were a teenager, or when did you realize like, oh, I'm going to do this for my career when I'm an adult?
I think I never really thought about that. It was like really natural, but I think starting point it was on my first international travel that I came to compete at Worlds in 2007. It was my first World tournament. I tried to compete in Rio the last one 2006, but I was too young, so I needed like a government like thing like for to compete, and I didn't got it in time. And so I had it all done to come in 2007, so it was my first international travel. And like different culture, like traveling by myself, being so independent, and like arriving here at the parliament, like, and have a whole new world, and I look at that, and the feeling, like, like was totally different. And then I think from there I thought, man, I want to do it more times. And then from there I just like keep doing it, and more tournaments, more travelings, and I fell in love, and I just like decided to dedicate myself for that.
So that was your very first Worlds, 2007.
2007,
What
as a blue
belt? What
belt.
belt were you in 2007?
Blue belt.
Blue belt. What year did
Uh-huh.
you win your first black belt world championship?
2011.
2011. What was it like your first black belt worlds? Maybe describe the feelings and what took place there a little bit. Do you?
Like at 2011 I lost in the quarterfinals, and I lost twice fighting with the black belts. First one was when I was brown belt in 2010,
Yeah, back when it was mixed.
because yeah, I was mixed. And then 2011, but when I won in 2012, the feeling, um I don't know, like was something like very, very like different. Like yeah, I was just like so happy. Because like I won as blue and twice as purple, and I won like open class too. And then I was like I was kind of winning a lot of other tournaments when I was brown and black belt in the first 2 years. I won like World Pro. I won like Panams. I won like Europeans, some other big tournaments too, but I lost twice at Worlds,
Who beat you
So
those years? Who was beating you back then?
I think 1 year was Luana Ozugi,
Ah, okay.
And the other year, I don't know if it was against Luisa. I fought Luisa, I think, in the open and the weight class. I think I beat her in the open. She beat me at the weight class or something like that. Like was back to back in the same day, like 2 hours different of the fight, you know. And so, but I fought a lot of Luana Zugir. Like we fought like so many times. Like Panam's awards, like a lot of times. Like we was like back to back until like she decided to change her career. And so like I think I was thinking like maybe like I wouldn't go into win words again, you know. There was something like my feelings was like going too high like on that time because it was just like really wanted that, you know, like, you know, like when like you wanted too much something and it's being hard like to get the goal, you know. And so like I was like just like he wanna like I really want to do that, and it was hard. But when I finally got it in 2012, man, I was exploding happy, you know. Like you, I fought like with Letty too. Like she was in the back, waiting for her fight. It was like so much emotion, like at the same time, you know. Um, just the feeling is like something that I can like just when you go through that, like it's totally different as blue or purple. Of course, like every winning, like you'll be happy and you like you going for that, you know. So when you achieve your goals, you're happy and like you feeling good. But when you like, it's something different when you achieve the biggest goal of your life, because I think like everybody that does jiu-jitsu, their first goal is to get in the black belt, and who is competitor, her second goal is to get like world champion as a black belt. So when you finally get there and you see yourself from that situation and you look back like for the everything that you passed through, and you just see, yeah, I deserve to be here, I did everything, like I really fight for that, you know. So I think that's something that is just like really different feeling, and I was just so happy. I think that was the biggest time in my career.
Leticia, when did you meet? Or, I mean, sorry, Bia. When did you meet Leticia? How did that friendship come about and partnership?
Um, I started jiu-jitsu in Rio downtown, and then I moved to Saquarema, and then in Saquarema I started training at Grace Academy. And my coach there, he used to train at Grace Tijuca sometimes with Leticia Morango. So like maybe like after 1 year training with him, he said, "Man, you are really talented. Like you need like he saw how much I like to compete and everything. So he told me, man, you need to meet this girl." And then he brought me with my parents to meet Leticia at like at Grace Tijuca. And that was like my first contact with her. I think I was like maybe like 12 years old. And since then, since we met the first time, we started to train together. Carol used to train there too, Ana Carolina Vidal. And like we was about the same age and same belt. She's just 1 year older than me, and she was about my size, and Letty too. But we just started to train together. We three, and then like the camps for the worlds, like he was there at Grace Tijuca, and then we had like Penny Thomas come down, like Devi Ayuda, like for Norwega from Norway, and like so many other girls that come down like to compete, to train and competing from all over the world. Since back then, Letty already was doing that, and the camps. And man, like training with them like was just so amazing. And I wasn't used to have a lot of girls in my gym. In Saquarema I didn't have any girl at the gym to train with. So like training with them was like kind of something like so excited, and already like so professional, you know, they fighting, they training for that. And I was just so young. I was doing just jiu-jitsu, competing and everything, but it wasn't like anything professional. I was a kid, you know. And then when I first trained with them, like was just like so nice. And then my parents started like to bring me like twice a week to train with Lady. Like it's about like 2 hours driving to from Saquarema to Rio to Gracie Tijuca. And my parents like saw how much I liked to do that, and they just started to bring me like twice a week to train with Lady and now the girls. And after that, like we never more like got away from each other, just like closer and closer friends. And then when I first came to America, she supported me here. And then in 2008, she bring me with her to do the awards camp. And then after that, I was starting to come, like to stay like for 3 months, 2 months with her. And since then, like our friendship and partnership just like grow and grow. And today, like we are so close, uh we are like family, you know, especially when are you are like away from your family. You start like to have your friends as your family, and the people that like are closer to you, you know. And like just like we don't have like a boss and employee like at the gym, you know. We are just like partners, and we do everything, like we talk to each other. We decide everything together, about when I'm gonna fight or about things from the gym. So it's just like something like very a lot more than just like coach and student or something like that.
You mentioned coming up, being the only girl in the gym at first, which I think that's something a lot of girls in jiu-jitsu can relate to. It's pretty common. What's it like being the only girl in a training room, and then how much does it change when you have a bunch of girls to train with, like you said later on in your career you had?
To be honest, like I trained a lot with the guys, and I really like it because I do it since I was like young, you know. I even today I still training a lot with the guys too. Even have so many girls at the gym, but I think the biggest difference to train with the girls is the reality. Like it's real to train with them. You can like do the same power, the technique, everything's gonna be the same, and then you're gonna know when you're doing like when you're really doing good on the technique, what you're missing, or when you need to do more power on that situation or less, you know. And with the guys, it's a little bit different because if the guy doesn't know how to train with the girls, when we get in a good situation, they're gonna do so much power, you know, and they just won't let you do. Even if you do it like that perfect team time, like they just gonna do so much power that won't let you do that position or things like that. Or sometimes they're gonna be mad at you because you're gonna get it done, you know, in time, and be done. But like I'm lucky that the gyms I'm training at, like the guys really like I think even because had me, like they knew how to train. They had to learn how to train because they was training with me every day, so they had like to learn how to move faster, you know, how to use their power. And so as I like to fight a lot the open class, that was something that helped me a lot, like to keep training with the guys and like keep improving, like to fight with the big girls because at the gym, even here, we don't have a lot of big girls. I think I'm one of the biggest one, and I fight light. Not that I'm lightweight right now, but I fight lightweight, you know. So I think that training with the guys helped me a lot with the open class to improve my game, to fight with the bigger girls, like heavy, medium heavy, heavy, ultra heavy, like you know, like so fighting with these girls, I need to train with the guys because it's different. Like the game is different, the gameplay is different, the power is different, everything kind of changed. With the girls for lightweight, for my division, I just have to be faster and be first. Because if I wait too much, they're gonna get me, you know. So I just like have to be one step ahead all the time. And like, but if like for the open class, sometimes I don't have a chance. They stop me. They sometimes stronger or bigger, heavier. So if I get it like myself in a bad situation, it's just harder to get get out there. So I train a lot with Morango, my coach. Like we train all the time, um, and like just like help me a lot training with the guys for the open class. But the training with the girls is definitely like real. You know, like everything you do, you know, like if you get them in the training, it's gonna work during like the fight.
What do you think were some of your like biggest accomplishments throughout your jiu-jitsu career? Like, what were some of the moments that stand out to you? You've had so many titles, but what are some of the moments that looking back you're like, oh man, this was one of my best moments?
I think getting double gold at Worlds in 2014 was my third title in the lightweight, and like in the finals, I felt like Michelle Nicolini was a big thing. Like she was one of the best fighters in that time. Like her guard was like something very danger, and like I played top on that fight. And in the end of the fight, like last minute, I passed her guard to secure like the winning. And so it was something like the feeling was like something that I really enjoy. Like, like going against, like, it wasn't my, like, I'm a guard player. Like right now I play a lot more top, but I was a guard player since like blue belt, and fight against another guard player and like being out of my comfort zone and being able like to beat her that way, it was like something that I there was like different feeling. And also was like a double gold at worlds, like being a lightweight is like not something easy. And also, I think my ADCC 2017, that was another title that I was really looking for so many years, especially because the ADCC is every 2 years, so it's a bit hard. Like when you miss 1 year, you have to wait like 2 years like to do it again. So I think those was like two big moments that I really enjoyed and that I had like different feeling, just as like my first world title, like something when you really want and you achieve it, like the feeling inside is like something different, that it exploding like emotions, everything together, happiness, I don't know, like so many things mixed.
Bia, you mentioned that you've been competing and active in jiu-jitsu for over 20 years now. The sport has changed dramatically since you first started, I imagined. Are you happy with the direction it's going in? I'm sure there's things you'd like to change too, but how do you feel about jiu-jitsu today versus when you were coming up?
um I think I think like it grow a lot, like especially for the girls. Like I remember my first worlds tournament as a blue belt, maybe had like 10 girls in my division, and today like it's over like 50 girls, 70 girls, some divisions. So every tournament that I go, I see how much bigger it is, especially for the female, and this is something that I really appreciate because I think we open a lot of doors for the girls, like believe that they can live from the sport, and not just something to have fun, and that you have like to go to follow another career in your life. You can believe that jiu-jitsu gonna be your job and you can live from jiu-jitsu. So I think that's something that it really changed, and that's why jiu-jitsu is becoming like a lot bigger, especially if all the tournaments all over the world, it's giving more opportunity to people, um, like World Pro is doing, like the UAE Federation is doing everywhere. IBJJF is doing tournaments everywhere. So I think this way a lot of more people get like opportunity to be competing and to be like enjoying to compete, because some people they just like doesn't have the opportunity to travel all over the world to compete, maybe to go to from US to Europeans, or coming from Brazil to US. It's not everybody that have the opportunity to be following the tournaments and like come here and show how good they are and live from jiu-jitsu. Because I think something hard that is like when you just like train and you didn't achieve anything yet. Some people just have to stop like to work, because they don't have how like there's some support to keep training. Like I had my parents support, my dad like was like my like my sponsorship for like until like I get like my blue belt and start like to and win my first world title, and then start to have more helping. And so I think a lot of people doesn't have that opportunity, like to travel and to achieve like a big tournament to get a big title, and then like from there like start like to compete more and more and become like a fighter. But having those tournaments everywhere it's helping a lot of people like to just like competing more and show that like that's what they want to do for life and become a fighter, and like having more sponsorships and help is like to travel longer and like to bigger tournaments. And that's why I think jiu-jitsu is becoming bigger. I just like the only thing I would change, if I have to change something, is the rules. I think today jiu-jitsu have too many rules. I don't like the so many rules like that. And I think if you have less rules, maybe the fights would be more interesting, and we would have like would play in more places, like maybe live TVs. Today we have you guys like to extreme all the fights like in the tournament, but maybe we could go like for an open channel, and like that would like become even bigger. But I think today's like it's not all the fights that is like interesting to have like to watch, you know. And I'm glad with you guys we can choose the good ones.
What do you? Okay, if I let you take away one rule, what would be the? If you say there's too many rules, you think there should be less. What would be the rule that you think needs to go the most?
Footlock rules. I would
Because
allow
the one where you turn
everything.
the wrong way. No, that's
No, even heel hooks, I would allow everything.
in the gi.
Yeah, in
Okay,
the gi, I would allow everything. I wouldn't have any rules for the footlocks.
all right.
I think
Reaping? You like reaping? You think reaping should be allowed?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially for the black belts. Maybe I would not like leave it for the white belts, but since blue belts, I think it should be allowed. I think if you're training and you got like promoted for the blue belt or man black belts, you know, like to be a black belt have be to be training for a while. So jiu-jitsu is pretty much teaching you how to protect and defend yourself, you know, and how to be like attacking it back. And so if you didn't learn that until you get your black belt, you shouldn't be competing, you know? It's because like you're not ready for that. So I think like if you dare, you competing at a black belt level, you should know how to protect yourself, how to defend yourself, or to know like your your limits and then you tap, you know? So that way like if people learn that like they wouldn't have a problem, you know, like with the rules. Or you tap, or you're not gonna hurt yourself, or you defend yourself and you escape from the position, and that's like how I think it should work. Especially in the black belt level. If you wanna, if you're not ready to tap, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna take time to recover. He's like, I take experience for myself, you know, and like that's how it works. Or you're gonna try to escape, or you're gonna defend the position, escape, or like especially because like my situation was in armbar, so why not like why cannot happen in a footlock, you know? So like it's just like, oh, they can hurt their knee. Of course, I hurt my elbow, and then so you won't like allow like arm bars anymore, you know. So I think that's something that doesn't make a lot of sense, especially in the black belt levels. And like I think white belts it's okay because they still learning a lot. But once they get promoted to the blue belt, it means that in the next level, it means that like they learning their limits, they learning how to tap, when to tap, how to escape. So I think that's like that's something that I would definitely change in the rules.
Heel hooks in the
Have
gi.
you?
That's the first time somebody's recommended that one when they bring up rule changes on here.
Yeah, I think less rules, less trouble, easier for the referees, easier for the fights. They just gonna go there and do their best and like not being worried about so many things that they cannot do and just think about what they're gonna do, you know.
Is there any positions that you feel people use to stall that frustrate you or anything? That's a complaint I hear a lot from athletes that they think people are using positions to stall people out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think like right now, like especially like the lapels and then like the rip the lapels around like your legs, you know, and then like whatever you move, like you feel danger, you know, and like maybe some like maybe like 50-50, let's say like 50-50, some position that people got stuck for so long time. Today we have a lot of escapes, like people start to study that, and that's how we get an evolution in jiu-jitsu. But like they come with something and then people come with something to defend that, like just like berimbolo or 50-50, or right now it's lapel guard. But let's say back in the days like when 50-50 just came up, a lot of people got stuck on that position. And what if we had like heel hooks allowed?
Yeah, that
That
completely
would change.
Yeah, I mean that.
I'm sure that wouldn't happen, you know? Like,
Yeah,
so it's just things like that that I think that would make a lot of more simple because it's a position that it exists, you know? Like, it's not, I am not creating that. It was already there. So why not, like, why we cannot do it, you know? And, like, it would make things more fun, you know? So people would be installing. What about, like, doing so many, like, types of footlocks or even crossing your, ripping the leg when they do the lapel guard or things like that, you know, maybe things would be different and we won't have like boring like mats, you know.
yeah. The 50-50 and the gi and no gi are just completely different worlds, right? Like in the gi, people can just get in there, take your sleeve and your lapel, and just hold you. No gi, it's a
Yeah,
terrifying place to be. You can get tapped any second with the heel hook.
and anytime like you don't want to be there.
So that's what you're thinking when you get stuck in a 50-50. You're like, man, I wish I could just heel hook this
You
girl.
hook all day long.
Um, But yeah, a lot of people are concerned that jiu-jitsu is getting watered down, that it's not as effective. Is that something that you are worried about as well with some of these rules, or do you think it's doing just fine and that really it's not a problem?
The thing is, like, for us that already love jiu-jitsu, will never be like sucks or boring, you know? Like, we love that. We love studying. Those new positions make us be like even more interesting on the training because you have to study, you have to go over and do that. Learning how to do and learning how to defend. But I think for people that like doesn't really know the rules and they start to watch it and they don't see a lot of emotion, they just say, man, what they are doing, they are like tied to each other, so like why is that fun, you know? Like they doesn't understand, like they doesn't know like like to playing like chess, the game, you know. It's just like that. Like some people that is watching from outside and doesn't know the rules, doesn't know how to play, they just think, man, what they two people are sitting there like for so many hours playing that thing, and that doesn't look fun, you know. And that's the same thing in jiu-jitsu. Like people that doesn't know the rules, they doesn't train, they won't think that is fun. And like I think if there's more actions, you know, people from outside don't think, man, did you see that? How they did that? You know, like more like action, you know. And so I think with the rules is making more boring, like the fights, and even like getting hard. You see like how much more is happening like for the referee decisions, like, and like they need to be so much, like now we have five referees in the finals match, three inside and two outside watching the video because it's getting too hard even for them. And like of course they are humans, like the humans, and they're gonna sometimes they're gonna get like wrong decisions because everything like is happening inside there and they have to decide in the time. If you have the video, we can go back and forward like 300 times and then we're gonna figure out what to do, but then they have to decide there in the time. So it's getting like as more rules they have, harder gonna be for themselves, and then more mad we're gonna be if they have a wrong decision, you know. And I think so things like that's just making like the jiu-jitsu a little bit harder, like to watch and like to fight, to compete and everything. So maybe if there was less rules, people would be more interested in jiu-jitsu for sure. Like, and I think that's what a lot of people and I'm worried about to be like to get in a level that it won't be interesting to watch anymore.
More heel hooks. You just want to go out heel hook
Yeah,
people.
like to be honest, something that I figured out like last year, a lot of people was going to eat during some finals match, you know. And man, like maybe like 7 years ago, this would never happen. Man, finals match was something that you didn't want to lose your place. Like you was there and you wouldn't leave it there for nothing in this life. In order to go to the bathroom, to eat, nothing. Would have everything there to don't have to leave your spot because you were so excited. Like a lot of takedowns, a lot more action. And then like as more rules it's coming up, it's getting more like people winning for one advantage. They doesn't care. Like they just wanted the title. They don't fight for the submission. They don't want to make it fun for the people, for the fans. You know, they doesn't really care because they need to win. And with so many rules, they can like one little mistake, they're gonna lose. You know, so I think with less rules, like you like ADCC is one of the most fun fights. Like you
Yeah.
have so many amazing matches because why? Because like it's so little rules,
Yeah,
you
they let you
know?
fight onto the concrete floor.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And people love that. And people want to see that. And so I think that's something that would help a lot the sport.
Who do you think was your biggest rival throughout your career? Obviously, you fought girls from different generations. Who do you think was your biggest rival? You would say
Uh,
be Nicolini, maybe?
I fought a lot. Three girls that I fought a lot was Luana Zugir right in the beginning of my career. Nicolini, I fought a lot too. And Luisa, I fought a lot of Luisa too. I think these three girls was the ones I most fight. Like in the open class, I fought a lot of Gabby Garcia too.
How many times do you think you fought Nicolini?
Man, closer to 10.
What was it like fighting her? Because yeah, she's a very technical guard, very dangerous too. What
She
was it like
was
fighting
the
Michelle?
was the most dangerous guard for me back in the days. Like foot locks, she was like
Yeah.
crazy good in the foot locks too, you know. And but I think like She used it to fight like a lot of weights, since from like feather to ultra heavy. She's just like everywhere. But she fought sometimes in my weight division, and we fought sometimes in the open classes too, gi and no gi. So one year at Worlds No Gi, we fought. I beat her in the weight class, and she beat me in the open class. I got an armbar on her in the weight division, and she got me a footlock in the open. So I think fighting her was always so much fun because she was looking for the submissions too. So any like really small detail could get in the fight, even for me or for her. So I think fighting her was really fun because of that. She was always fighting forward, never stalling the fight. So I think that's why like when we step on the mat, we didn't know like what is going to happen. If she was going to pull guard, if I was going to pull guard, and so it was like always an exciting match.
Bia, what was I gonna say? I was thinking back to your recent matches with Fionn, of course. You have a couple big wins over Fionn, and of course the recent loss. What do you think of some of the new girls in the game? Fionn is definitely super challenging. Are you looking forward to another match with her?
Oh yeah, like I want to fight her again, of course. I have fought like her 3 times already before this last ADCC. She just gave him the armbar back that I did on her on 2017. I was looking at the pictures and like I remember that like she was my first match at ADCC 2017.
Yeah, that was back when like nobody really knew who she was when you beat her.
No, she was a brown belt. Like after that, she started like I think she got her black belt, and then she was just like up, 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 all the way up, and so she gave back the armbar, and so I think she was the one girl that is really coming up, especially because she fight for the submission. Like we can tell that. And also she has a different game. She plays a lot more top. She has a good guard too, but I think her top game is like better than like, especially because her background, if I'm not wrong, she's from judo.
Yes, yeah.
She's a judo black belt. And so I think that's something that make her being different. When like most of the girls play guard, she's playing top, so that makes like her game be a little bit different too. And like and that's like something that is helping her to beat most of the girl that play guard. Her passing guard is very good, and she always fighting for the submission. She doesn't stop. Like she's fighting forward all the time. She doesn't stall. All the fights you see her doing, like either she gonna get like submitted or she gonna submit because she's always fighting forward. And I think this is something that is helping her a lot, like to get in the top. And that's something that people like to see. Some girls that fight for that, and that's always gonna help, like to get it, to improve your game and to get better.
You're obviously super competitive. Is that something that you probably wouldn't want to go to MMA without avenging that loss from ADCC, right?
Oh no, I want to compete in jiu-jitsu before I go to MMA
Yeah.
for sure, and especially a mat with her, it would be very nice. It's not that something that I need to do, especially because I have fought so many times before. But as a competitor ego, I would like to have that rematch. Even being like 3-1, I still wanna like have 4-1.
Yeah, you got to win the last one, right?
Yeah, I have to end it.
Well, B, I think we're winding down on time here. Anything else that you want to bring up before we get kicked out of the studio? Anything else on your mind you want to chat about?
I just like would like thank you guys like for having like been doing everything that you guys doing, making us like being studying from home. We felt like the shows and everything. I think like that's something that is helping a lot of people. And like having like out their idols, like having some time to talk about themselves here too. It's like something very nice, and like bringing jiu-jitsu for another level. And I just like hope everybody stay safe and we be able like to come back to our real lives in the mat soon, and like keep you doing like a beautiful show and having back everything to normal.
Thank you, B. I really appreciate it. And
thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah, thank you for the time. And likewise, wish you well out there in California. Everyone at home, hope you guys are doing okay, staying safe. And we'll see you back tomorrow on another episode of Who's Number One. Who's coming in tomorrow, Michael?
Tomorrow is at 5 Eastern, Gordon Ryan and Craig Jones.
Gordon Ryan and Craig Jones on the same call. It should be pretty fun. Thanks again, B. We'll see you soon, hopefully someday. And Take
Thank
care,
you,
guys. We'll see you on the
guys.
next episode of Who's Number One.